Well, hello everybody. Very good afternoon to you from a lovely sunny Bournemouth, and thank you for joining us. I'm going to be talking about pathway programs and pre-sessional English programs for students who are interested in coming to study at Bournemouth University. So a little bit about myself first. I've been working in international education for many years. I've worked in lots of different countries as well as in the UK. I'm not from Bournemouth, but I moved here about three and a half years ago, and I can speak from personal experience and say it's a very lovely place to live and has lots of really positive experiences for students. If you look at the first slide there, you can see our new building, the college and student residence. There's a picture of me there, my first day at work, just 5-10 minutes from the college, having a lunchtime walk down by the beach. And there's also, if you're a football fan, you may notice a couple of Premier League AFC Bournemouth football players who came to visit our new students last year and to help them settle in, having experienced what it was like to be an international visitor themselves to Bournemouth. So I'm going to talk a little bit about life in Bournemouth, a little bit about Bournemouth University, and a little bit more about Bournemouth University International College specifically. So firstly, why study in Bournemouth? It's in a very good location. It's, as you can see there on the map of the UK, down on the south coast. We said that we have the best weather in the UK, lots of sunny days. If you want somewhere bigger to visit, we're only a couple of hours by train from London, so you've got the airports and the shops and everything there. But we also have good shopping facilities here in Bournemouth too. We're right on the coast. There's 10 kilometres of lovely sandy beach, which is open to the public, easy to access. And a lot of the life down here, the lifestyle is quite open air. People like being out of doors. You'll see people running, jogging, paddle boarding, surfing, etc., as a regular part of their daily life. Also a very safe place to be, a very sort of secure, comfortable environment, and very easy to get to know other students because it is fairly small. It's not a big city, very manageable size in the centre, and so lots of sort of positive elements for students. I should also say it's surprisingly diverse. We have a lot of different cultures here in Bournemouth. It's the second biggest number of language schools outside of London. So all through the year you do see a lot of people from different nationalities all around town, and local people are very used to speaking to people whose first language isn't English. So you don't need to be nervous about speaking English to people here. They're quite used to people whose language isn't yet perfect. So a few images there of Bournemouth. I mentioned the lovely beach, Jurassic Coast, fantastic coastline. A lot of festivals happening in Bournemouth throughout the year. Air Festival, the Wheels Festival. And again, for those football fans, you may notice some cherries there. That's the nickname of our local football club. So if you are a football supporter, try and get along to some of those matches. Sorry, let me just close that down. Sorry, there we go. And Bournemouth, you might wonder what's it like in the winter time, as it is a seaside resort. It's also very beautiful in the winter, and you can see there's some images of ice skating rink, lots of gardens that are lit up over the winter time, the Christmas market, etc. So don't worry that you're going to get bored in the winter. There's still plenty to do. Moving on to talk a little bit about Bournemouth University, and if you're watching this, you're probably already quite familiar with what Bournemouth University offers, but just to give you a little bit of information, this is a photo of one of the new buildings up at the Talbot Campus. So a lot of investment happening at the moment in the facilities and buildings up here, which are fantastic. Bournemouth's well known for its placement year in particular, or placement opportunities. It doesn't always have to be a year, and internships. So you will get an opportunity to put your study into practice and to learn from a real life environment. And students who go off and take advantage of that opportunity tend to come back and in their final year, the undergraduates, tend to get much better results than those who haven't taken up that opportunity. And of course it gives you all those experiences and networks that you can then use when you go out into the workplace later on. And Bournemouth University has very good links with industry, commerce, all sorts of businesses in the UK and outside the UK, and we'll be able to help support you to find a placement. If we think about academic quality, again, that's something that Bournemouth University has a good reputation for. Research areas, and in terms of its teaching as well, it's moving up the rankings. For example, it's in the top 150 in the world for new universities. Doing very well in that respect. And I mentioned before about going into the workplace after your degree. Employability is really strong, so over 93% of BU graduates have found a job within 6 months of graduating, which is a great statistic. One example here, sorry, I seem to be talking a lot about football today, but football is very important to our town, and we're very proud of our football club. So one example of a very successful graduate is Rob Mitchell, who's the commercial director at AFC Bournemouth, and the university has very good links there. There's a little info sheet here. It's got some of the other statistics you might not be aware of, so something you could perhaps come back to later. It mentions some specific programs, for example, at BU, which are very highly ranked and well thought of. So something for you to refer to afterwards. So coming on to the college specifically, we work with all 4 of Bournemouth University faculties. So we have programs to help students, support them to prepare to go into business and tourism, media and communication, science and technology, so for us that's computing, and health and social science. At the moment that's the social science side of things, but we're hoping to open up additional routes in the near future. We have a range of different degree programs at the university that our students can progress onto. So when you come to the college, you will have an offer letter which gives you a guaranteed progression route, guaranteed place on a specific degree at the university if you meet particular entry requirements. There is some flexibility to change that degree program. When you come to the college, if you decide that that's not quite what you wanted, or you see something else that you think will suit you better, there is some flexibility to move, as long as it hasn't, as long as you've done the right modules so far to support that move. So that's something we can look at with you. The programs we offer specifically in the college are at undergraduate level foundation certificates. That's for business, tourism, media and computing. International Year 1, we run a business program. At pre-masters level is business, tourism and media. And we also have a separate program for students who already meet the academic requirements for the university. They already have a conditional offer, and they come to us for the English part of their program. So they come to us, it depends on what your level is now and the level you want to achieve at the end. So that could mean that you come to us for 6 weeks, or it could mean you come to us for 39 weeks. So there's a range of different options there with different start dates depending on your need and what you're trying to attain to get to the university. Looking at our student community last year, we had about 359 students, and you can see there from the pie chart how those were divided up by the different levels of study. So as you can see, a big group doing PSE, that's Pre-sessional English, the conditional offer holders already, and then we've got foundation certificate students, followed by pre-masters and International Year 1. One of the things I really like about the college, and it's a little bit unusual for Pathway College in the UK, is the huge range of nationalities that are represented. So last year, with 359 students, we had 54 different nationalities. The wonderful thing about that is that it means students have to speak English to each other. And as I walk around the college, I do hear students chatting to each other in English. And obviously English is so important for your studies with us and at the university, and when you get out into the workplace too, of course. The more opportunities we can give you to practice your English in a meaningful way, the better. And as you're mixed with students from all different countries, that gives you a real incentive to communicate and develop your language skills. When you come to us, you'll get an ID card for the college, but also for the university. So it's almost as if you are a university student right from the start of your studies with us. You'll get an ID card that means you can join the Students' Union. So the Students' Union is a very, very active group that represents students who are at the university, but also they have a very, very dynamic social program. There's clubs and societies for students who've got all sorts of interests, drama, theatre, art, music, sport, very important. Students from different cultural groups also have societies where they get together and sort of enjoy some of those things they might be missing from home, for example. You'll have access to the library services. There are study centres where you can study 24/7 if you want to. There's a very big library up here at Talbot Campus. You can access resources. You can use sports facilities, university buses, which are cheaper than the regular buses, and you can also get discounts in some shops and restaurants as well around Bournemouth. So you get that ID card right from the beginning, and it's as if you are a university student. These are just a couple of images from the inside of our college. So at the start, the first slide showed the exterior of the building. So we've got at the front the college, and then a sort of wraparound where the student residence is. The bigger picture there shows a typical classroom. You can see it's very light, bright and airy. We have whiteboard walls in all of our classrooms, which means it's very easy to do group work. We also use, because we have a lot of glass, we use pens as well to write on the glass, so to write on the windows, so it's almost as if we're using those as a board as well. We have e-beam pens, so we've got a good level of technology in the classrooms. Internet access, of course. If a teacher's doing a presentation with you, we're able to make notes on that presentation and save the notes and then share them with you as a group of students, so you've got that information recorded very easily. The smaller picture there is a breakout area that we have where students can relax between classes, and there's a copier, printer, etc. you can use. You can plug your laptops in and work there as well if you want to. So our lovely new building is very close to the train station. It's actually less than 15 minutes walk. That's if you're a slow walker. You can walk down into the town centre again in about 15 minutes and also get to the beach quite quickly. It's a big supermarket just up the road, and there's a small supermarket next door. Very easy, very convenient. There's restaurants and shops around the college too. We're on the Bournemouth University's Lansdowne campus, so that's the town campus, right in the centre of it. Very easy to get to some of the other BU facilities around about, like study space and library. And we're right by the bus stop as well, so you can come up to Talbot Campus quite easily too. As a college student, you get a lot of support on a one-to-one basis for you as an individual. So we have a lady called Sandra, I'll show you her photograph shortly, who will meet with you right from when you come to register in our welcome week, and she'll talk to you about what you're hoping to do at the university and make sure that you've made the right decision and talk you through any possible changes you might want to make. We work very, very closely with the university, so during your time with us you will be visited by your future lecturers, And you'll also come up to the Talbot Campus to see where you will be studying. You'll have a tour of the facilities. You'll get to meet some current students. You can ask some questions about how their programs are going. You'll be invited along to guest lectures as well, in addition to that. So you can feel like you've got all the information you need to prepare yourself for completing, we hope, your studies successfully with us and then progressing to the university. We also have in the college placement students, so students on their placement year who are actually working with us, so you can talk to them at any time about what it's like to be at the university. Because we have a residence with the college, a lot of our students from last year are still living with us, still living nearby, and they're always around as well. I'm very happy to talk to our current students. So I mentioned study spaces. Within the college, also, you can use the ground floor and the first floor in the evenings and weekends. If you want to, for example, get together with a group to practice presentations, you can come and use the classroom to do that. You can come and use the IT suite if you want to work on your own and you don't want to work in your room, if you want to change the scene. You can use any of the other facilities. We have lights and video equipment, so if you're a media student you need to do some filming, you can do that as well. Each of our students has an academic advisor. So that's somebody you can speak to on a one-to-one basis to talk about any questions you've got about your studies or any problems. Some students, for example, find it difficult to manage their time, to plan the work they need to do for assessment hand-ins or for exams. So we have, you will have an academic advisor to help you, support you with those kind of tasks. We also have a virtual learning environment, a VLE, which is like a college intranet. So you can go on there and get lots of extra information about your classes. For some classes, your tutor might ask you to prepare some work in advance. Sometimes you're able to go on afterwards and see the presentation and the notes from the class there. And you also have access to a range of e-resources, which will help you when you're researching different areas you need to write up for your assignments. And you'll be very busy with your studies, but we do encourage you to do additional activities as well, because we know how important that is to support your learning and get you practicing your English. So we have what we call an LOTC program, and that's learning outside the classroom. I'll give you some examples in a minute, actually, of the kind of things that might involve. And we have a special space called a knowledge hub, where we run a lot of activities, usually about 4:30 after class is finished, so you can come along to those as well. So this is our knowledge hub. It's quite a nice, open, flexible space, and we use it for things like debates, communication activities, team building. You can see there some team building activities, creative thinking, all sorts of different activities go on there, and you can come to as many as you want to come along to. It's always lovely to see students in there in the early evening or late afternoon doing different things that they often have never done before. So a good place to divert your skills and meet new friends. This is an example of our LOTC schedule. So that was learning outside the classroom. This is from a couple of months ago, but I thought it was quite nice. It had a quite nice range of different activities, so I chose this one. So during this particular week, one of our teachers was showing students how to do magic card tricks in the Knowledge Hub, so some of our students really enjoyed that. We had a debate going on the Tuesday. We had a nice practical baking session on the Wednesday. Because we have our own restaurant, students can practice making bread or decorating cakes. On the Thursday, one of our students was actually leading a session. So he was talking about how to challenge yourself and build your resilience. So that was a very popular session. One of our students also came along on the Friday. She's a trained Zumba teacher, so she came along and did some Zumba, a Zumba class on the Friday. Saturday we had an outing with one of our members of staff, going along to watch a film down in the town centre. And on the Sunday we also encouraged students to go on a trip along the coast to see some of the beautiful countryside. So I think that gives you an idea of the kind of range of different things. If there's nothing there that you like the idea of, students are always encouraged to come and tell us what they'd like to see, and then we can try and arrange something to suit them. As a student in the college, you also benefit from a lot of support. We have a team of college services staff who are there to make sure that you're attending classes, help with welfare issues, well-being, make sure that you get your timetables on time, you get your results on time, you get the information that you need at the time that you need it. So there are people who'll be there for you if you need it, and who'll be thinking about what you need to make your time at the college as comfortable and easy and as happy as it can be. Because many of our students live on site as well, it means that if you are unwell, or if you're having problems with maybe your flatmates are noisy, for example, we're right there to try and help you solve those problems. I mentioned the on-site restaurant. That's called Campus, and there's a photo there of some of our hospitality students, tourism and hospitality students, who helped out with an event and got some practical experience helping serve our VIPs. I've put in here a slide just to show, again, a typical week. This was last week. Typical week's menu in the restaurant. So you can again see the kind of range of different things that we serve. There's a kind of an African stew there. There's fish pie. There's some different kinds of curry. We had a ribs day on Thursday that sold out. That was very, very popular. But you can see the kind of food that we might be serving during the weeks. And we have a different menu for dinner as well in the evening, and we also serve breakfast. Friday, I should mention, always very popular is the fish and chips. The restaurant's not just for students, we have external people coming in as well, so it's nice that you get the opportunity to mix with local people from Bournemouth as well as students. And some photos there just to illustrate the kind of food that we offer on a daily basis. We do vegetarian food as well, I should add. There's a few meat photos there. We do vegetarian food every day, and halal options available too. I'm going to talk a little bit about Cat Pack. So I mentioned that we try and encourage students to do extra activities outside of the classroom. What we're thinking about is your employability, what you'll be doing another day, 5, 10, 15, 20 years' time. I think we're very conscious that you're with us for maybe up to a year. You'll be working towards your Kaplan Award in that time. After that, we very much hope you'll be successful and progress to Bournemouth University, and you'll be getting your degree. But what happens beyond that? What kind of careers and jobs are you hoping for in the future? What kind of businesses are you hoping perhaps that you might run? What kind of skills do you need to make sure that you will be attractive as an employee in the years to come? My job, for example, didn't exist 15 years ago. The kind of jobs you might be doing perhaps don't exist now. It's quite hard to imagine that future. I'm hoping I'll be able to stop working at around 66. That's the pension age in the UK. But you'll be living longer than I will, and you'll be healthier for longer too. So you might be working until you're 70. What kind of skills do you need to make sure that you're going to be attractive to employers for a long working life? And there'll be younger people, of course, coming up behind you who are familiar with new technology as they are educated. So we're trying to give you a head start and get you thinking about what you might need for the future. And we have what we call a Cat Pack. And it's looking at 4 different areas of graduate attributes that we feel it's useful for our students to start developing, very much only the start of the journey with us, start developing as they start thinking about their future lives. So around personal development, academic exploration, finding out more about your subject area in lots of different ways, your communicative skills, hugely important, and developing knowledge, skills and experience in all sorts of different areas. And these are the kind of attributes that we've seen our successful students demonstrate So I won't read through all of those, and that's just a small sample of the kind of things that we'll try and encourage you to start developing while you're with us. I've mentioned some of the activities that we do to try and encourage you to do that. We have a CapPack Plus Award, which we give to students. We've just started doing it this year to recognise extra effort they've made in terms of engaging with the local community and also leadership skills. And it was lovely in April, just last month. We had our first winners coming through. I think oh sorry, no, I haven't got a photo there. We had our first winners coming through of students who'd demonstrated some leadership skills that we wanted to recognise and give them those first awards. So we'll be encouraging you to work towards these. These are the kind of things you can show on a CV or a LinkedIn profile, and it goes beyond just your qualifications, your academic qualifications. So we have links to different organisations, different businesses, and we bring them into the college as much as possible to give students exposure to real life, real working life. I'll just give you a couple of examples. Recently we had Andy Lennox, who's the CEO and Managing Director for a big restaurant chain in the UK called Thai. So a range of Thai restaurants around the southwest of England. So he came in to talk to students about what it's like to start up a business. We had somebody coming in with lots of experience in customer service, talk to our students about how to deliver excellence in service to customers. We had somebody else coming in to talk about the importance of teamwork in the workplace. So we do try and get you exposure to people who work in, who have experience working in all sorts of different industries to come and discuss that with you. I'm just on the last few slides here, so I'm going to talk a little bit about a really good incentive to get good grades. So not just to pass your Kaplan Award and not just to get to the university, but there's also financial incentive. So for students who are outside of the EU, on our foundation certificate or international year 1 programs, if you can get 65% academic average while you're with us, there's £2,500 reduction on your BU fees when you start at the university. And if you're at pre-masters level, it's £3,500. So an extra incentive there for you to do well in your studies. And also, if you can be very organised and get your finances sorted out, pay your tuition fees when you start at the university, there's another 5% discount for you. So I'm coming to an end now. I just want to really encourage you, if you are thinking about coming to Bournemouth, and if you are interested in knowing more about what it's like to be at the college, please do link up to our Facebook page or Twitter account or Instagram account. We try and keep these very, very active. We post on there pretty much every day and sometimes several times a day. We use these means to communicate with our current students in the college and our former students who are around Bournemouth. But we also put things on there thinking about students like you who are considering coming to Bournemouth, because what we want to do is to give you some idea of the kind of things that are happening in Bournemouth as a town, at the university and within the college itself. So that will give you a really good picture of what's going on a day-to-day basis here. This is Sandra, I mentioned before, down here on the right, not with the hat, not with the gown. This is Sandra, who works in the college. She's a key person for all of our students, and she's the lady who will help you a lot with any progression questions and support that you need. So if you have any questions after today, please do use that email address and come back to us with your queries. And the other lady with the gown and the hat is one of our successful students who graduated from the university in November, having been with us for a college programme and then progressed. successfully and finished her degree. So that was lovely to see. These are just a few pictures, a small selection of some student activities we've had recently. So you can see that we had a drumming workshop outside in our courtyard. That was back in October. We had, you can see the four girls there. There's the 4 of our students from different countries. We had a lady in from India who showed us how to wear saris, which was really interesting to see. 3 of our alumni there from Eastern Europe, different countries in Eastern Europe, had an international day. Some of our students from the Middle East, we had a celebration for Eid at the end of Ramadan last year, so that was really good to share with them. And we've got a Chinese lion dancer in the middle. I mentioned Bournemouth is quite a diverse place, so there is a local group who do the Chinese lion dance for us. So it's good to welcome them to the college. Sorry, excuse me. So finally, I think just to say welcome to Bournemouth. We would love to see you here. But if you have any questions or anything I've not mentioned, please do send through those queries now. We'll try to answer them for you. And sorry, my voice is going a little bit, so I'm just going to have a drink of water. So any questions, please please do send those through. And we'll try and answer.